This is your $1,200 stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and of course, the latest update on the stimulus negotiations as of today, Monday, November 2nd. Let's get right into it, but as always, my videos are for everybody, including Social Security recipients, retirement, disability, and survivors, SSI, supplemental security income, VA, RRB, low income, no income, the underdog, the underserved, whatever you want to say. Everybody is included. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're returning, welcome back. Nice to see you once again. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for checking me out. And please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Let's get right into it and talk about what's going on a Monday right before Election Day. Tomorrow, Election Day. Can't believe it's already here. Many of us thought today would never come at the rate that things were moving. It was moving so slow, but wow, here we are, Election Day. It's going to be a very, very interesting and potentially volatile week. So we'll have to see what happens over the coming days for sure. All right, so talking about the stimulus. As we know, there hasn't been a whole lot of news about the stimulus lately because most of these people are just kind of in like a wait and see approach to see what happens after the results tomorrow. However, I have more about that here in just a second. But President Trump was out and he said that there will be legislation for a stimulus package immediately after the election. At the same time, Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, he was out and said that he anticipates stimulus is going to come in early 2021. Not what we want to hear, Mitch. Not what we want to hear. But we have to remember, Mitch McConnell is not in control, so he doesn't have the final say. Also, Nancy Pelosi, she was out in response to Mitch McConnell's statement there saying early 2021, and she said, I don't want to wait that long. And let's be honest, let's be honest, not many of us want to wait that long, but let's be real. How many of us can wait that long? I think that's the real way that we should ask that question. How many of us can wait that long? I'm guessing probably not many of us or anybody, right? So yeah, we certainly need this ASAP. They need to get on this, and hopefully President Trump is right and says that there will be legislation immediately after the election. Also, President Trump said there will be a tremendous stimulus package immediately after the election. Remember, just the other day, he also said that there's going to be the biggest and best stimulus package you've ever seen after the election. So we'll have to see about that, but I feel like, yeah, that'd be great. I mean, not only should we make it the biggest and best, but I mean, maybe let's throw a second stimulus check in there. Well, maybe I shouldn't say second. Maybe we should throw a third one in there. So 2, double it up. I mean, at that point, it's still probably going to be a little bit too little, too late at that point, but either way, doubling it up for many people would certainly be a sigh of relief, especially going into the winter months right now. Also, I want to mention something. I continue to see so many comments down below from people saying, I didn't receive it. I've never received my first one. Or those of you saying, I never received my dependent payment. Here's the deal. The deadline is coming up close once again. Remember, it was previously mid-October. Well, they extended it. It is November 21st. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I want to mention it again because here we are in November. You only have a couple weeks left to get this done. November 21st is the deadline. If you have not received your first stimulus check, you need to go to the IRS website and fill out the non-filer tool for most of you. Fill out that tool. It's right there on the IRS website, irs.gov website. I have not tried to fill out that tool myself, to be completely honest with you. However, I've read multiple different articles and reports on this. It sounds like it must be done from a computer versus a mobile device. So if you have somebody, a family member, a friend, a volunteer, somebody that has access to the internet on a computer, a laptop, desktop, doesn't really matter. Just a computer versus a mobile device. It sounds like that's how it has to be filled out versus on your phone. So please do that. If you haven't received your first stimulus check or the dependent payments, that $500 for dependents, if you have not received either of those, be sure to fill out that tool. The deadline, like I said, November 21st. I know I've said it like 3 times now, but you know what? I continue to see people down in the comments saying that you never received it. So if you haven't, you need to do that. Also, I've been having people ask about the phone number to call the IRS if you want to ask about your payment. Here it is, 1-800-919 9835. I had to think about it for a second. I have that number memorized. Again, 1-800-919-9835. That is the dedicated number for the stimulus checks. You can call that number. You can talk to an agent. If the first agent doesn't know what they're talking about or can't help you, ask to be transferred to somebody else who can help you. There is a way, so just keep asking. You might need to sit on hold for a little while, but just please be patient and you'll eventually get to somebody. I've actually called that number a couple times and I've talked to different agents and you'll eventually get through to somebody. You might have to sit on hold for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, but eventually you will talk to somebody. So that's the number. I hope that helps you. Also, as far as tomorrow is election day, as we know, right? It's highly unlikely we're going to have a verdict by the end of the day. The reason being, some of these states, some of the key states, are not even going to start opening mail-in ballots until tomorrow. Well, if they have tens of thousands or a couple 100,000 ballots to go through, it's highly unlikely they're going to get through all of those tomorrow. So just don't be surprised if we don't have a verdict by the end of tomorrow, or even it could be Friday by the time we have a verdict. It could be a few days out by the time they get through all of these. And remember, it could be contested even. We may not have a verdict for a couple weeks. It could be a while out there. So just keep that in mind, that if you're watching your TV by the end of tomorrow, we may not even have answers. So, maybe we could, but it's highly likely that we're going to see this drag out for a few more days, possibly even a week or longer. Also, at the same time, I talked about last night, I made a video talking about lockdowns. Many European countries are going into lockdown, maybe like a full lockdown. Maybe they're implementing curfews or partial lockdowns. Now, it's been very clear in this country, in the United States, that we're probably not going to go into a full force lockdown situation like we were earlier this year. However, let's think about that a little bit further. Is it likely we're going to get some kind of shutdown, lockdown, something happening in this country again? Maybe it's state by state, maybe not on a national level, but it could be a state by state level. And the reason I say that, think about the hospital system. We only have so much capacity within the hospitals. What happens if state by state, city by city, county by county, all of a sudden they start seeing we only have 20% vacancy in the hospitals? Well, they may start locking down in those types of situations, simply because if they don't, the hospitals will be overrun very quickly, and then they won't have any space for new patients coming in. So just keep that in mind. We may not have a nationwide lockdown. However, it may be a state-by-state or certain area specific lockdowns that could be coming. So either way, it's all in the safety of people. We want to look out for everybody to help everybody survive this whole thing. Of course, we don't want any more casualties that have already come from this whole thing. So either way, it's scary. Also, down in the comment section, I've seen quite a few people saying it's a hoax, it's fake, it's not real, whatever. Well, regardless of, whether it's real or not, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. So I'm not saying it's not fake. I'm not saying that it is fake. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying this is the reality. This is what is happening. We are potentially having lockdowns. We are seeing people being hospitalized for whatever reason. So my point is, this is real. This is what's happening. I'm not saying, whatever about the virus. Think whatever you want about the virus. That honestly, that doesn't matter to me at all. But what I'm saying, is, people are being hospitalized. We are seeing lockdowns. We're seeing shutdowns. There is fear out there in the world. That is what is happening. So just be aware of that. And either way, I hope everybody stays very safe during this time. It's definitely a very confusing time. It's like, what do you believe? What do you do? Either way, you just want to stay safe, keep everybody else safe out there as well. So at the same time, COVID cases continue to spike throughout this country. So again, kind of building the argument once again for maybe lockdowns coming, maybe it's maybe it's a nationwide. Think over into the European countries. The European countries said, we're not going to lock down again. They said that months ago. We're not going to lock down. We're not doing it again. It's not happening. We're just going to go work our way through it. Well, guess what? Over the weekend, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, came out and announced that England was going to be locking down for a month, a 4-week lockdown, and it could extend even longer. At the same time, like I said in my video last night, we see so many other countries over in the European region also locking down. Italy, Spain, Germany, France, Austria, What's that other one? Ireland. There's so many. I probably even missed a couple. That's just off the top of my head that are going into these lockdowns or have already been locked down. So either way, just continue to be safe. Either way, with election day coming tomorrow, it could get really volatile around here, and it's somewhat of a scary situation with everything going on, and whatever we have coming. Either way, we don't know, but. Either way, like I always say, I'll continue to be here walking you through this situation. I'll be here for you on a daily basis, continue to keep you updated with anything that I find relevant that could be helpful to any of you in this community. So thanks again for being here. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you allowing me to come back every single day and be here for you. So thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and I'll probably catch you again later this afternoon. Stay safe, everybody. I'll see you again soon.